Welcome everyone to the Learning Tube. This is team member Ava, and we're back with another exciting Learning Tube session. Remember, we have these sessions every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You get reminders each Thursday. There's a Facebook group where you can see the replays, the website, as well as YouTube itself. So remember to tune in there if you want to see any replays. Now, today we have a special guest doing something that we love to do with AI, creating images. Who doesn't love to create images, things for our brand and things like that? But the problem that we have is that we tend not to be able to keep the consistency. We tend to have a cousin each time or a far distant relative every time we create a replica of ourselves. The first one is us, then the second one is our second cousin, then the third one is our cousin. So she's going to be here to help us to be able to have consistency when we're creating our images and more. So I'm going to welcome Denesha Davenport to amazing presentation. Remember that any links shared here will also be included with the replay. So Denesha.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone today? Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. And before we dive right in, I like to scan the room. I like to see who's here, where people are, what levels they're at. Okay. So before we even dive into all of the things I'm going to give you today, I'm going to take a stab at it. Okay. I'm going to guess most people in here have tried or they have created an AI visual, right? They've used maybe ChatGPT, Gemini, Midjourney, some LLM to create a visual. Okay. Everyone in here, if you've done that yet and you've played around, just put me in the chat. I want to see where everyone is in the room. Okay. Me. Good. Okay. Let's say you created a really good visual. You loved it. You created a really nice one that you really loved with Chat, Gemini, one of the LLMs. Say me in the chat if that's you. Okay, good. And then here's the thing. I'm sure everybody's done this because I've done this too. You created the visuals, you created the visual, and it was so good, and you wanted to make more variations and things from it, but you either lost the thread, you couldn't get the look the same. It was like, oh, this is perfect, oopsie accident. And now how do I get that same consistency? If that's you, put me in the chat. Okay. Okay, awesome. So my goal today, right, is after this hour session with me is that by the end of this session, you know how to lock a certain aesthetic into any prompt you're prompting or creating a visual for, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, so on and so forth, where the aesthetic and visual consistency stays the same for your brand or business, okay? So again, before we start, let's see where everyone is, right? And you can put a 1, a 2, or 3 in the chat. Number 1, your content looks random. Who's posting? Anybody posting? And you're just, listen, you're just going to ChatGPT and you're saying, take my picture, put this outfit on me and put me at the office or whatever, right? You're prompting that way. If that's you, put me in the chat. Okay. So your AI visuals are random, right? It's whatever AI wants to give you. And put a 2 in the chat. If you nailed a look once and you cannot repeat it, you're struggling. You really like this look. You can't figure out how you did it the first time. You're struggling. Put a 2 in the chat. Okay. It's a few 2s. Okay. And then this is for my creatives, those who may be creative and maybe have a little creative block or they're stuck. They need some new concepts. You're consistent. You can create the content, but you're bored. You feel like you're creating the same thing over and over again. There's no real creative spin on it. It's not as interesting. If that's you, put a 3. Put a 3 in the chat. Okay, there's some 3s. Good. All right, so my goal today is for me to address every one of you guys, number 1, number 2, number 3, no matter where you are, okay? That's the goal for today. So this visual consistency that you see here, this is technically 4 different businesses, but somehow it all has one complete look. This is an example of what I call a style lock, okay? So you'll learn what that is in just a second. But this particular aesthetic, I called it concrete. It has like this cool graphic electric look to it. Okay. We built a style lock around it. If you look at the first image off to the left, this is an attorney in his office, but somehow it still flows with the aesthetic of everything else. The second picture is a hippie woman smelling a flower. She's like in nature, totally different, has nothing to do with the lawyer, right? The third image, right? A lady looking up at inside of a candy shop. And then the third, a little boy, he could be modeling his outfit or it could be fitness or something of that sort. But the point I'm trying to show you is the power of a style lock prompt, okay? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how we do this today. So before we dive into it, who am I, right? My name is Denesha Davenport. I'm a creative first. I'm a creative first. I've always been a what if person. I always say any medium, right? I've played with balloons, florals, photography, videography, paint, okay? Whatever the medium of choice is for me, give it to me. I'm going to explore and create. And so for me, my current favorite tool of choice is AI, okay? So today I'm going to show you one of my methods, but I have several inside of my school community, okay? And they're all designed to stretch your creativity. Here's some of my work, okay? Like I said, 20 years as a creative. I'm a graphic designer and a visual communicator first. It could be balloons. It could be transforming an event space. It could be florals. Actually, I own and operate. I have 2 event spaces that I've opened, okay? So again, AI is just my newest tool of choice. So here's the problem, okay? And I get this. People will see my visuals, they'll look at certain things, and they'll ask me, what tool did you use? And I have to laugh. I have to laugh a little bit with that because it's not really about the tool that was used, it's about how I directed or prompted the tool, okay? And what I want you to understand is that, and what nobody may have taught you is that you are the director of that tool, right? So what you give it is what you get out, right? And so with 20 years of visual communication, so on and so forth, how specific you are with the tool is ultimately how you get better results for your visual. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a few tips and tricks today on how to do that. So here's everything on one slide. Okay. This is the whole method I'm going to teach you today. Okay. It's 2 pieces. So the first part is your locked DNA. This is the style lock. This is the thing that doesn't change. Your color, whether it's certain hex codes or a certain time of day, your light, the finish of your visual, right? What does the texture look like? What is the composition? What is the mood of the picture? Is it dark and moody? Is it bright and vibrant? Is it golden hour? What is the mood of your picture? You set that lock once for your visual aesthetic, and that becomes the blueprint for every visual that you create. Okay. The second part of that is the scene. The second part of the 2-piece style lock is the scene you're creating. That's the part you swap out every time. So the subject, the setting, the moment, the only thing you change, right? Most importantly, the camera perspective. That's my favorite part. What is the camera doing? Okay. When you do these 2 things together in your prompt, you create the same brand, the same visual aesthetic every single time. Okay. So before I give you the prompt for us to start diving into that, and I like to do things workshop style, so I will be dropping a Notion doc in the chat, or the team will be dropping a Notion doc in the chat in a second. And if you want to work alongside and do this with me, great. If not, you can, watch and then of course watch the replay and get it later. But before we get there, I like to use an analogy, okay? I'm a foodie, I'm a little greedy, okay? And so I like to use food as an example. And the best way to just describe this is, let's say you go to a 5-star restaurant, you sit down, you're ready to eat. Who in here tells the waiter, just give me food? Anybody in here do that? You sit down, you're like, just give me something. I don't know, give me something off the menu. Anybody do that? I don't think anybody does that, right? So my question to you would be, why do you use AI that way? Why, when you prompt a visual, do you just be very generic about, give me a lady walking down the street with a red purse? It's going to put you wherever. We're going to test that today, okay? So the style lock helps anchor what that aesthetic looks like for your brand, okay? So, and a good example of how this will look when we use food as an analogy. If I was to go sit down, maybe I say, give me a T-bone steak, medium rare, with roasted garlic potatoes, asparagus on the side, and you know what? Give me a Coke with light ice. Do you guys see the difference when you actually direct and you get real specific about what you want? I just painted a picture, right? So try being more specific with how you prompt on top of that style locked. Give me that dinner plate. Yes, yes. See how that visually communicated for you. Super important, okay? So here's the style lock. And if we can drop the Notion doc in the chat for those who maybe want to start doing some of this as we're, rolling up our sleeves and transitioning to workshop style. This particular style lock is going to help you discover that aesthetic or style lock for your brand or business. Now, I have some members that use this for clients. So where this can work for any business, it doesn't matter what you do, okay? So if you want to screenshot this, you also can take the Notion doc that's being dropped into the chat. It should be. If not, I'll drop it in a second too when I share my screen. But what it says is, help me define my visual style lock. Ask me questions one at a time about my brand, my colors, my mood, my audience, the brands I'm drawn to, and how I want people to feel when they see my content. Okay. After I answer, give me one clear style lock statement I can use every time I prompt AI to create visuals for my brand. Then ask if I want a second and third version built from my other brand colors. So I have a small set of locks that all feel like me, but keep my audience from getting bored. So this prompt is super powerful, okay? I'm gonna drop the Notion doc for you right now, okay? I'll drop it as well in the chat. I'm gonna share my screen, okay? So before I get started on actually showing you how powerful this is, let me just go in and I'm gonna drop it myself here in the chat. So you guys have it for those who want to do it along with me, okay? So when I actually use this style lock, I'm going to use Claude. I'm going to use Claude, but you can use whatever LLM you choose. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini. I just like Claude. Claude's a better writer, okay? For me personally, okay? And so I'm going to use Claude. So as you have that Notion doc open, it looks like this. Go ahead and copy the prompt. It's the same one that you screenshotted on the presentation, okay? Copy the prompt inside of step 1. Open up Chat or Claude, whatever you're going to use. I'm going to use Claude. And I'm going to paste that prompt. I'm going to take it a step further. You don't have to do this because this is your first time prompting for this. But I'm going to take it a step further and say, this is not for my brand. So ask me the questions, okay? Why am I doing this? I teach this in my school community. I have several skills saved in Claude. It has my brand Bible. It knows who I am. It knows how I talk. It knows my hex codes. It knows my brand voice. It knows it knows my story. It knows everything, okay? And so if I plop this, my Claude will just start assuming it's for me. So I'm just telling it, this is not for me, okay? This is not for my brand. That way we can actually create one. Anybody have any ideas? You have a business, drop in the chat. I like to get interaction with the chat. Anybody have a brand, a business that they want me to test this on? And just a few words, right? It could be I have a Gothic style clothing brand. It could be I have a cookie shop, whatever it is. Anybody have any ideas? I want to test it on you. Commercial cleaning, candle business. Okay. Consulting services, insurance agents. Okay, okay. Okay, let's see what else we have. Education, nonprofit. Now, this is really good for nonprofits, really good for nonprofits. Biblical coaching. Okay. So I'm just gonna pick one because I've got a lot of options. Let's do something that's a little more maybe challenging creatively. Let's do let's do the HVAC company. That's very different. Okay. I just want to test the powers of how this works. Okay. So as I put that prompt in, it's going to ask me each question, right? What color world does the brand live in? Now, if you have a website, you have your social media, you have a brand Bible or a brand style guide, which I teach my members in the community how to create one that works well with AI, or you have some inspiration images. At this step, you can attach those things down here as a reference. If you're not good with describing what it is, your brand, how your brand is, or what mood and aesthetic, you can attach those images and then talk it out, okay? I always talk it out. So I'm not going to check any of these. I'm going to take it a little more in depth. Okay, Claude. So we're just creating like a mock business. This is for an HVAC company that is in Texas. They are a little different from most HVAC companies. They like really vibrant color. Their colors are orange and blue, and they also have like this stainless steel kind of aesthetic going on because of the whole HVAC system. We want to create a style lock for them, okay? So when they create content, it looks like them every time. I'm thinking something that's kind of modern, bright, um, and bold, but still professional. Now, I just made that up in my head. I don't know, right? But the goal is to really describe that well. Okay. I see someone. I'll drop the Notion link again in a second here. It's the goal is to really describe that really well. Okay. All right. So it's thinking. There's a Notion doc for those that came in a little late. And if you have exact hex codes, like you know your actual exact brand colors, drop those in there, okay? We want to get as specific as possible with this style lock. So when someone sees the brand's content, which finish should it have? So this is, I'm going to make this up, but you answer this based on how you want to answer it. I always, again, I'm going to say use the microphone and talk it out because you're just going to get better results than just choosing something here, unless it's more specific there and you want that. So I kind of wanted to feel industrial and raw, but still clean, if that makes sense, with pops of color. Um, and I also want to have like one, like really, I want to play with something that's more in the foreground in the picture, something that's midway in the picture, and then the background. So kind of like we're playing with a foreground, middle ground, background type of thing where there's one subject or thing that's kind of bigger in the picture. I just kind of want that to be a reoccurring aesthetic too. Now, you didn't have to, I'm being very vague. I could use different terms. Okay. I could draw it out, take a picture. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Again, send it references, whatever I choose, but this is me really thinking about what I want this style lock to convey every time. And then it asks me, who is it speaking to? I'm going to just choose commercial clients since I said industrial as an example. All right. What brand is the company drawn to? So this is the secret sauce, okay? This is the secret sauce that I teach my members. Really, really, really good information here. One thing I always tell them is AI knows the Fortune 500 companies extremely well, okay? I'm gonna say that again. It knows the Fortune 500 companies extremely well. So if you cannot explain an aesthetic or a look that you're going for, you need to reference or describe another Fortune 500 or 100 that AI understands really well, okay? That's how you also unlock. I teach my members to create something what I call a brand mashup, okay? And that's where we take two of them and create our own aesthetic from it, okay? It's a game changer. We put that in our brand Bible. So I'm just going to say we're looking for Apple, Tesla, and we're looking for I like Jeep. I like Milwaukee Tool, Jeep. I like that. So we're going to select both of those. Now I was going to think about that and how they market and how their composition and aesthetic is based off of what I described here, right? So we're making this up out of our head. When a property management sees this brand, the feeling should be confident. These are pros. I'm going to say, oh, it's in order. This is different. I'm going to say confident. I want energized to be second, impressed, and I'm going to say reassured and impressed as the order. All right, we should have just one or two more questions here that it's going to ask me, and then you're going to see this thing come to life. Anybody doing this with me as you're doing it, going through the questions? If you do, when you get it done, as this is going, I would love for you to drop some of your images. Okay, she said, I am. Nice. I would love for you to drop some of the visuals you get in the chat, okay, when you get to that. So here's a style lock, okay? It's named it Texas HVAC Primary Style Lock. I'm going to copy this. And before I start adding the second part of the style lock to this, I'm going to test it out. Anybody remember what the second part of the style lock is? Yes, it's okay if you get slightly different questions. The questions are going to bend a little bit depending on what you tell it, okay, as you answer the question prior. Scene, very good. Scene. Scene is the second part of the style lock, okay? So we're going to use chat. I've been loving chat lately, but I'm also going to test it on Gemini because I just want you guys to see the power of this style lock. I'm going to paste that style lock that it gave me. This is the aesthetic of the look baked in. I'm going to tell it I want it to be a 9:16 ratio image just because primarily this is what I create my images in, either 9:16 or 16:9, because I'm primarily on Instagram or YouTube Shorts or something like that, right? And it's 9:16 ratio. So we're going to test it there, and we're also going to text it. We're going to put it inside of Gemini. I should have told it create an image, but it should do it. There we go. All right. And as that's working, I'm going to be confident that this works, okay? But these are the additional two options. So it's giving me an orange LED version and a blue LED version. I'm just going to tell it, okay, I like the orange LED and blue LED version. Let's go ahead and create the style locks for those two as well, and so I can test them out. All right, so this is the first one, okay? This is chat, okay, the 9:16 ratio image. This is Gemini. It's a little bigger on the screen. Let me click it. This is Gemini, okay? So I just want you to know the difference, how powerful the style lock is, okay? Let me go back over to Claude. And I'm also going to I'm not going to test all these. I'm just going to test the orange LED one. And then I'm going to pressure test this, okay? That's what I like to say, pressure test this. And you'll see what I mean by this in a second. Oops, let me say, I meant to tell it create the image. Create the image, 9:16 ratio. Okay. All right, and while it's creating that second one, I'm gonna turn around and pressure test this using the same exact style lock. I'm gonna say something random that makes no sense to this business. Anybody want to give me ideas? I want you to see how well this works. Give me a 1 to 2 sentence scene, right? That's the second part of this prompt. Give me a 1 to 2 sentence scene of what you want to create a visual of. Anybody want to give me, see how I did the orange here? Anybody want to give me a scene? It could be a little girl playing hopscotch. It could be whatever. Okay, something random, has nothing to do with HVAC. Okay, working at a desk, a dog running on the beach, penguin as a man. Ooh, Monica's learning my warp method. My warp method is really good with that one. Flowing river, ladies at the range. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna pick ladies at the range. That might be interesting, okay? I'm gonna say ladies at the range. Give me a group of ladies at the range. And I'm going to say close-up shot. This is where we talk about the camera angle. I'm going to say extreme low shot, 9:16 ratio. Now, I teach you about, camera perspective and all of that in my school community, right? You can learn some tips and tricks with that as well. So now this is what I call the pressure test. So now what we're doing is we are taking the style lock and adding a scene that makes no sense to the brand. This is how we pressure test how strong the style lock is. If it still looks like your brand, it still looks like your aesthetic, no matter where you put it, you've created a great style lock, okay? So this is the pressure test. Ooh, B-roll shoes. Come on. Yes, B-roll shoes walking. That's good. That's good. Absolutely. So as it's polishing, as it's finishing that up, I want you to see the how beautiful that is. And you see this second style lock, it has like that pop of orange piece in it. So no matter what I create, it's going to do this. This is a part of the style lock. Okay. If I was to go read it, that second one here, it tells you, okay, strong foreground, middle ground, dominant accent, energy color. It says all of that, right? In the style lock. And then there's a blue one. We're not going to use them all. Just want to show you the power of that. Okay. Here we go. So there's the range shot. It still has the colors. You can see a little bit of the steel up here from the ceiling. I told it extreme low view, so it's got it low with the women up higher. Okay, it's got the orange in the background. It's got a little bit of it in the top of the gun, right? So this is how you create the consistency. So if I put these all together, they still look like they're coming from the same brand, right? This is how we can create consistent content. Super easy, okay? All right, I'm gonna go back to my presentation and then we'll come back to this in just a second. I got a bonus part. Got a bonus part for you guys. All right, let's view this large. All right, we just built one and we just did the pressure test. I skipped ahead a little bit. But again, remember that's when you create a scene that makes no sense to the brand, okay? So remember these three pictures here, the neon pop? I took that same and pressure test and said, give me a chef cooking a steak in the kitchen. And this is what it did for that style lock. Okay. So that's how powerful it is, how powerful it is. Works so well. Doesn't matter the business, right? It doesn't matter the business. I'm gonna keep saying that. Doesn't matter the business. It's powerful, great for content. And then how do we push the visuals even further? That last piece where I said, think about the camera perspective, which is one of my favorite things. That's the thing that helps stop the scroll. So how do we take this already visually interesting picture and in the scene of sameness as you're swiping or scrolling the screen, how do you actually stop the scroll? Okay. So change the pitch, change the camera perspective. So I'm showing you how powerful that is here. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. So the bonus, this is the bonus part. This is the bonus part. I'm going to give you one prompt. Okay, this is also in your Notion doc. This prompt is going to help you come up with a week worth of branded content quickly. Now I'm saying a week, but the prompt I give you, I do 30 days, 90 days at a time. This is just one type of content, okay? You should have about 5 or 6 different styles of content that you actually post for your brand. But this is a bonus, okay, of how you can quickly take this and flip it and create more content. So we're going to get 7 ideas, okay? And we're going to do them based on my content pillars. I teach this in my school community as well. Okay, every idea is built on a scroll stopping scene, not a flat concept. So we're taking your style lock, okay, and we're making a scene based on 7 days of content from my 7 content pillars. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That was a mouthful. Okay. And then once we create that, I'm going to show you a tool that I use to batch create all the visuals at one time. Because we've already locked the style lock in for this HVAC company, right? So let's just create 7 days of stuff real quick and then be done with it, right? Just have to schedule it. Because that's what everybody struggles with. Okay, I made this pretty image. Now, how do I do this faster? So I'm going to show you a little bonus on how we do that. Here's a prompt for that. It's also in the Notion doc, okay? But you can screenshot this. What we're going to do with this prompt is we're going to paste your style lock in there once you've created it. So you got to create that style lock prompt first, okay? And then you're going to tell it what you offer and who you serve. Now, if you're like me and you use Claude a lot or you use ChatGPT a lot, you can just say, hey, if it's for your brand, right? Paste your style lock and say, look, you know what my brand is, you know what I offer, fill that in for me, and then let it run the prompt, okay? So we're going to use it really quick and we're going to test it out. I want you to see how powerful this is. Yes, sounds like editing video. Absolutely. So let's go back to the Notion doc. Let me exit out of here. All right, we tested it. That was step 2. Step 3 is make a week of content. So we're going to copy this in. Now, because I'm in the same chat thread, I don't need to go in and tweak the prompt. I'm just going to go to Claude, paste that prompt, and I'm going to talk it out below what I'm going to say. Here's another prompt I want you to act on, okay? Paste the style lock for the orange lead, okay? Let's use that one as the style lock for this particular prompt. And well, you already know what we offer, or you have enough based on this project. You know what we offer, and you know who we serve based on the questions you've already asked me. So fill those things in to this prompt, and then let's go ahead and run the prompt. So because I'm already in the same conversation thread, and it just asked me who I am, who I serve, and creating the style lock, I just said, you already know. Just fill in the blanks in the prompt and give me the 7 content concepts. That's what I just did. Now, if I was doing this regularly, I am a project person. I would have created a project either in Claude or ChatGPT so that everything for that type of style lock is in one project. So as I want to create more content or more ideas, I go back to that project, okay, and just keep pulling and keep pulling. Where are the images that Claude created? So Claude didn't create the images. Claude is helping me create better prompts, better visual prompts that I plug over into chat. Now, there is some other stuff in Claude I'm not going to get into today, but you can use MCP connectors where you connect Higgs field and stuff like that and create images directly through Claude. I'm not going to do that today, but I do teach that in my school community. But I created the prompt and then went over to chat and Gemini and showed you examples there. Yes, I answered your question before. Yes, I have created images in Claude. Okay, so here we are. Here's the 7. I told it knows my pillars: authority, teaching, my offer, right? You would have this, right? Whatever yours is. Community posts, personal story, industry hot take, and behind the scenes. Okay, those are my 7 content pillars. So now what did it just do? That prompt I gave you, it baked your style lock in and it gave you a 2 or 3 sentence scene to describe and create a visual based on that type of content. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of these just so you can see. And I'm going to pull back up what my school community is and everything as well in just a second. So I'm going to copy this one, go back over to chat. I'm going to test one first, okay? Even though I don't feel I need to. We're going to test one first. And if I had an AI twin, I teach AI twins and all that too, I would have uploaded those things, right? If I wanted myself or a specific character in the picture, I could do that. But this is just for example reasons. Okay, paste in that first image. Now, how do I batch do this where I'm not sitting here doing this one-to-one? Well, they do have Higgs field integration in Claude. I teach you how to do that. You could batch create content and have it do it for you while you're sleeping. But we also, I use another tool, and I use this for client called LoveArt. Now, there's other ones that you can use, but I love LoveArt, so we're going to use it today. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy all of this. Or actually, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to paste all 7 days of content with the visual prompts into LoveArt. And I want LoveArt to batch create them for me. Can you give me everything in a clean, organized prompt with each post by the day so I can copy and paste it there? Easier for me than trying to go through and copy all these things and then possibly get confused. All right, so that's the first image with the orange. So you see how I said that one dominant pop of color? Now, I didn't read it. I didn't read the prompt. I don't know what it said, but I could have gave it direction. And I could have said, I really want to push, it's the summer. People are calling us. Things are, systems are going. They need to be, they need maintenance done to them, whatever it is, right? Let's put somebody hot inside the building. Like the air stopped working. There's different things you could do with storytelling besides it always being the worker on the roof. So this is where you get creative. Okay. Yeah, Canva can batch create. Yes. It's a few different ones you can use, right? To batch create. All right. So now that I have that, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it over to my LoveArt account and I'm going to just send it off. And this is going to create all 7 visuals for me. Now, I just told it 9:16 ratio, but I could have told it a static image pose. I could have told it what I wanted it to say on all kind of things. I could have given it a different ratio, but this is the basics of how powerful that style lock prompt is, okay? So here's LoveArt. It opens up a project, okay? It's going to generate the 7 days of visual content. And as that's working, I'm going to go back over to my presentation, okay? And then we'll come back to this once it's finished loading. All right. So all the things I've taught, right? Creating your style lock and then directing the scene is how we create that visual consistency. This is what happens when you stop prompting and you start directing, right? You get consistent visuals. And for those who were asking, how do you stay connected to me? How can you join my school? How can you there's some free resources. I have several things. I have a book on Amazon. It's called I Am the Prompt. If you want to learn more about me, and my work method is in that book. You can scan this QR code and it'll take you to all of the links. Okay. How you stay connected with me. All of the links will pop up there. And I will also put it in the chat, but I'll allow you to scan if you choose with your phone, and then I'll drop it in the chat as well. Okay. And let me go out of this mode here. You guys got it? I'll come back to that. I'm gonna drop the link. This is where that QR code is going. Okay. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for those who want it. This is all the ways to stay connected with me. Okay. Here's LoveArt. That's what those dings are you heard. LoveArt is let me know it's done creating several visuals. So here they are. Still doing a couple, right? But here's the ones that created. So this is how we batch create. Now, who feels like, okay, this is a lot easier than I thought. I could create content. I didn't know it was gonna be this easy. Anybody feel like I could do this? Let me check the chat. Yes, good, 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 good. And create visual consistency, right? Now things look like your brand. And you understand the power of the style lock, because this is just one. Let me say that. You don't want to post the same one over and over. You want to mix it up, right? So create 5 or 6, create some different ones. Okay. And think about how you can get creative with how you're telling your story. And I teach some of that in my school community. So here we go. This is story driven. Okay, he's getting, I don't know what this is, but he's getting something out the truck. Okay. So here's all 7 posts. And in my school community, I get into video, how to make things move, carousel, presentation decks, all kind of stuff. I mean, we get into a lot of different things, automating content. And so this is just one of many things, right, that I teach inside of my school community. But you can see here just through some of the visuals, the storytelling that's happening and how this can actually work for the different types of content. So you see here. Why do I why do I like LoveArt? That's a good question. So I like LoveArt because it's almost like, it's kind of like Higgsfield, but better for me, for creatives or designers, just my opinion. You can actually change the models, right? So you can do ChatGPT Image 2, Nano Banana Pros, Dream, all kind of stuff, right? You can create video and picture through here. So it's great for projects. Great for staying organized, right? For batch creating. So I still test. If you notice, I started in chat and I started in Gemini, which are just a couple of different LLMs that have different image generating models. Once I liked what I did, now I'm ready to replicate. So this is where I like to batch create fast, because now I can go in here. I can click the image and I can prompt and tell it to create me a video. I also can create agents in here. But you can do some of this in Higgsfield and other places as well. But I like it because you can do that create workflows, batch create, automate some stuff. And you also can upscale images. You can upscale them directly in here. Okay, create higher resolutions and stuff. Is this available for replay? Yes, I believe so. This is available, I believe, on YouTube for replay on the Learning Tube. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go back for those who may have wanted the information on how to stay connected. And then I don't know if we're able to open up for those that have questions, or you can drop them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer any questions as well. I'm looking through the chat here. Yeah, okay. Okay,
And if anyone wants to actually say their question, you can raise your hand and we'll unmute you.
Okay. We've got one with their hand raised.
All right, check.
Dijon, did you? Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I
you're
did.
unmuted. Can you? I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
you
can hear
typed it.
you.
Did you have a
I can
question?
hear you.
Okay,
Yes, I did. First, thank you for the presentation. Really love it. Also a content creator as well. Been shooting content next week of Juneteenth month,
good.
20 years now.
Nice.
And so this has been a major eye opener. This is like a cut above. As Beyonce would say, let me upgrade you
I love it.
in my
I
first tenor
appreciate
voice.
it. Thank you so much.
For sure. My next question, real quick. You did say you were foodie, so you got a food background as well? Same here.
You know, I don't. Just give me the plate.
Okay, okay. So
Just give me
you
the
gonna
plate.
oh, my apologies for cutting you off. I was about to say, so you gonna do a Keith Lee. You gonna sample it and then everybody gonna run up the bag.
That's it. That's it. All
All right,
righty.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the feedback.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Let me lower your hand too.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much. No questions, no questions. Thank you for your time. Okay. No problem, no problem, no problem. So a
Denisha,
good question. Oh,
it's usually a good sign when there are not a lot of questions because that
I
means it
know.
was very clear what you were
Yes.
doing.
There are a couple in the chat, okay? I do see, I'll read if that's okay. Someone said, is your school paid only? So it is paid. It is a 7-day free trial. That's a good question. I didn't go too in depth with it. I do live sessions every Thursday inside of my school community, okay, where I go through an 8-week curriculum. We go through my warp method, visual consistency, AI twins, batch creating content, so on, video creation, all kind of things, right? And then I also have bonus sessions. So that's every Thursday, 5 o'clock PST. Tons of value and replays in there. Okay, tons of value and replays in there. I would say go in and try the 7-day free trial. And then with one thing that I do differently is when I have my live sessions, I actually like to have my members give me their stuff and I show them the methods using their stuff. So it actually is a 2-for-1. So if you like what I did and you want to take and expound and use it, I give you those assets. Okay, so that's the difference in my live sessions weekly as well. Yes, you can change the prompt to 30 days. You can change it to 90 days, whatever you want, right? For however much content you want to create. Yes. Are you on TikTok? I am heavily more so on Instagram. I do have a TikTok. If you scan the links, my TikTok link is at the bottom there. You can follow me there. I barely just started a page there as well. LoveArt is the app. Yes, LoveArt. LoveArt.ai. Corrine says she has a question. If we can unmute her.
Okay, let me check.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, so thank you very much. I enjoyed that presentation because I really don't do a lot of image creation. And for the simple reason that what I've tried, sometimes it's very inconsistent. So I like that idea. So I have my question is I'm comfortable with Canva. So that's why I asked because I know you can do batch create, but I noticed you use LoveArt. So how easy is LoveArt to use versus Canva? And yeah, because it's the first time I'm hearing about LoveArt. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so they're both equally, I would say they're both easy because you're creating, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it and you're creating the prompt and you're just feeding it over, you can do the same thing over in Canva that you would LoveArt. It's really user preference
Okay,
of
okay.
which one you choose,
Yeah,
and what you
because
want
yeah.
your visual to look like, output it.
Oh, okay, because I've never used LoveArt, but I'm comfortable with Canva, so that's why I asked. So let
Yeah.
me ask you something else. I know for this actual demo with the HVAC system, we did not have the brand Bible.
Uh-huh.
So how easy? So you use Claude to give you the brand Bible as well?
I do. I do. And
Okay,
I have
okay,
and that is part of this is a piece of my visual consistency
okay,
class inside of my school community. This is one piece.
uh,
So
okay,
the brand Bibles that I have my members create, it has their tone of voice, their do's and don'ts, how they talk, their origin story, their client avatars. It has their brand colors, their fonts, composition rules, all kinds of it basically it is your brand Bible. If you can hand it over to someone and say, hey, this is what my brand is without saying a word, that's exactly what it does. And so
okay,
I teach you how to create that, and I do recommend using Claude for that.
okay. And you upload that to like your Claude custom instructions?
Exactly. And
Cool.
then once
Okay,
you do that, I would create a skill of the
okay,
brand Bible.
okay.
So
All
now
right.
all of those things where we just said create 30 days worth of content, it knows your origin story. It has something to pull from outside of you telling it every time as well.
Okay, great. Thank
Mhm.
you.
You're welcome. Okay. We got a couple more questions. And while Ava is going through that, I'm gonna answer a couple in the chat. What platform or what plan do you recommend for LoveArt? So that's a good question. I always say start with the lowest plan. Doesn't matter what it is. If you want to start and start free, start free if you can. I think LoveArt they may have changed it. But when I first joined, you could start for free and test it. You don't get far, but at least you can play around and see if you even like the tool or if it's something you want to invest in. Um, but then once you do that, start at this next tier up and see if you actually like it. That way you can see how many credits you're using, if it's something you're going to use a lot or not. I always say start small. Okay, so we have another question. Ray Jr., I'm going to ask you to.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
excellent presentation. The HVAC is what I do. My
Okay.
question would be, is it possible to modify and let's say put the company name on the person's uniform, put the company name on the actual equipment so that now it's more, you even call 1-800, AC service now or whatever. Is that
Absolutely.
possible?
That's a great question. You absolutely could do that. So how we told it about remember when the first question it asked me about what I was doing, what the brand was, when it asked me about the style lock and colors, I would say that. I would say,
Okay.
I want to make sure that I put the brand name, the phone number inside of every visual it creates, whether it's on a machine or on a poster or somewhere baked into the scene. You would just say that so that it would create that in the style lock. Now, there's other things we could do to take it to another level where we attach reference logos and stuff. And I teach all that in my school community, but you absolutely could do that. You can bake it in the style lock.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. We have another question. Is it Enid?
Hi.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Enid.
Awesome.
Hi, how are
Enid.
you?
Okay. Good.
Um, so I'm not a content creator. So for me, joining your school will be like too much for me because it's not like part of my business or something.
Okay.
But I like to learn new things just to have those skills under my belt. So I was wondering, do you do other trainings that someone could just learn how to do AI twin or things that you do instead of investing monthly in something that I'm not really going to use?
You can. So one thing I would say, if you're on Instagram or even TikTok, I just started a page not long ago over there. Follow me, right? I post value there. But also, if you want more of a one-on-one tailored to you and your business, I do offer 60-minute discovery sessions. That's on my links page as well, where you can have a one-on-one with me, where I can teach you whatever, whether it's one of my things, work method, AI twins, whatever you want to focus on and tailor to your business. So that's another way outside of paying monthly for the membership where you can get some immense value as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? I'm looking at the chat. Thank you guys so much. Is LoveArt similar to I think I answered that. Yeah. This will be up for replay inside of on YouTube, I believe. Ava, let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe it's YouTube. It says thank you.
Well, it's on the Learning Tube replay page.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm just scrolling I think I answered. Super helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Can you please drop the Notion document again? Oh, you got it. Someone dropped it to you. I'm a little behind. Yes, and Anna says, thank you. My head is swimming with new learners. Think of all the things you could do here, right? What kind of style locks you could create. This alone, you can go be great. You can go be great. Okay. All righty. Well, if there's, Victoria has her hand raised as well.
All right. Go ahead, Victoria.
Hi, this has been so fantastic. This is so good. But my question to you is, can you please drop your YouTube channel for me, please?
I can. It's on I'm gonna drop the links. Okay. I have not put my first video up yet, but I will be. So you absolutely, if you want to join the YouTube and subscribe, I'm gonna be dropping a lot of stuff there as well. In the next couple of weeks.
This is so good. And I
Thank you so much.
And I love LoveArt.
Yes.
That
It's
was
awesome.
Good. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. And thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm going to drop my links again. It's just all the ways to stay connected with me. And my YouTube link is at the bottom of that page as well.
Remember, everyone, that Denesha shared will be included with the replay, so you can see all her links via that one link. All right, so you have everything in one place. So, do we have any other questions?
I think I see. Is it Joanne?
Joan, let's get you unmuted. Go ahead, Joan.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you so much. So I followed through while you were doing, and I did post what I came up with. I think that's the style look, but after the style look, I'm not sure. I mean, no, that's not the brand look. I wasn't sure what else you said we should do after, but this is what I got from the prompt.
I'm sorry, you asking a question about did you actually create a style lock?
I did put what I got from when I followed through, I put it in the chat.
Oh,
so yes.
I don't know. It probably disappeared with all of the.
Okay, I'm posting it again.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not sure
did you have a question about it?
Yes. So
Okay.
that's the version that it gave me. Yeah, but you were saying something about, you had the DNA, and then I think this is from the first prompt. I'm not sure if we had something else to do.
Okay.
After the.
Yeah, so the first prompt, I don't know, it looks like you used chat for it, right?
Yes,
And it looks like it's 4 different images. So if you actually batch created and put them all in, that's where it's looking like the 4 visuals are there in one. Is that what you did?
No, I just put the prompts from chats and I put it in Gemini and it brought out this picture.
Okay. I would have to really see what your thread is. Do you follow me on Instagram? Are you on Instagram?
Yes, I am.
Okay, private message me on Instagram, okay?
Okay.
And then
All
I
right.
will personally look at what it is. It has to be something how you're describing it.
All right. Thank
Okay,
you
you
so
can
much.
share no problem.
All right.
We've got another question.
Hi, yes. I want to say thank you so much. Like this was super helpful. So
No
I'm really
problem.
looking forward and I've joined your community. Like I'm so looking forward to learning more from you. Because I want my content to be visual and dynamic for my business. And it's just, you did great. So thank you. Now, my
Thank you
question,
so. Thank you.
so generally, like when I want the photo to have me in it or like a certain person's face in it, I
Mhm.
upload a reference photo. Would I do the same in this scenario to get the?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. Yep. And when you create your style lock, depending on what it is that you're trying to visually communicate, you can say that. You can say, when you create the style lock, I'm going to always reference an AI twin. So if you can bake that language into the style lock, you can say that as well. I don't know if we lost her. Oh, she said thanks. Okay, awesome. So there's a lot of questions. I see a lot of questions in the chat. A lot of the questions that are asked about like voiceovers and video and all the things. I teach those things inside of my school community. That's where we start taking the visuals further, right? Where we create one cohesive thing. The style lock is the base, right? And so we would be using some other things for that. So I teach that inside of my school community if you want to dive into that. Can you put your link of your book here? I can put it directly. It's also on the links page, but I'll put it directly. Here's the Amazon link. That's the link to it on Amazon. All right. I think we answered all the questions for right now. So I will, once this gets uploaded to YouTube, I will be keeping a lookout over there too. So I'll come in the comments over there too. If there's any additional questions, I'll come in over there as well and ask questions as well.
All right, Denesha, thank you so much. As you can see, everybody really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Very clear. And as I said, images are something that a lot of people love to do, but we
Absolutely.
don't do so well. As you say, keep and yours
Absolutely.
definitely the direction that you gave it, you showed people that, as I always tell people, we tell the AI what to do, not just take what the AI gives us. And that's a
Absolutely.
mistake people make. They just take what the AI gives us and they're not controlling it. I guess maybe the people who love to be in control are the ones who do better with prompting. I don't know, maybe.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much for being clear. And everybody remember that the replay will be posted in the Facebook group, the Learning Tube Facebook group. It will also be posted on the learningtube.com replay page. And it will also be posted on the Learning Tube YouTube channel. So look out for that. Remember, it's usually within 24 hours that you get the replay of the session. So thank you so much again, Denesha. I'm sure a lot of people will be following up with you.
Yes.
So that would be good. And
yes.
thank you for taking your time out to come and
Absolutely.
share.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
Every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So come check us out next Thursday to see who next will be on the Learning Tube. Thanks, Denesha. Bye.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.